A long time ago, it's said ancient man domesticated the wolf and created the dog. But the origin of man's best friend is a modern mystery. What was the first dog? Across the world, canid experts are chasing what they believe may be living relics of the original dogs.
They are dogs, but they're dogs like dogs were thousands of years ago.
We're dealing with something so primitive, so simple, so elemental as the original dog.
Scientists are trying to find and save these last links to the past before they disappear.
There are still pockets out there of these unique animals. They are every place threatened.
This quest takes us back to dogs' beginning, a history that's inseparable from our own.
The dog was the first animal to join us from the wild, to make us more human.
May we have the group winners in the ring, please.
Each year, the Westminster Dog Show celebrates canine perfection and diversity. We have created more than 300 different breeds. Yet most of these are less than 200 years old.
Oh man, he's got some tough competition.
So what were the earliest dogs? And when did they first appear on the world stage?
He's giving you a good show too, Joe. Oh yeah, he looks good.
We won't find answers in the show ring. Understanding canine origins lies with primitive dogs. Some look like mutts. Some look exotic. But these dogs go back thousands of years. They were shaped not by breeders, but by Mother Nature. Some of them are still running wild. For as long as anyone can remember, packs of wild dogs have roamed the deep woods of the American South.
There are still existing in remote areas of the southeastern United States, free-ranging dogs whose appearance suggests that they may be remnants of the first dogs in North America.
From nose to tail, they seem designed by Darwin. Out here, they make it on wits and a dogged drive to survive. The dogs are also found living on the edge of human society. In rural South Carolina, they're known as yaller dogs.
A yaller includes cultural southern implications of living under the porch and eating garbage.
Dr. Lair Brisbane is a well-known dog trainer and breeder. As a wildlife biologist, he's also an expert on canine behavior. Over the years, he's caught, adopted, and raised many wild yaller dogs.
A dog out in the woods is judged by what do you look like. Are your ears pricked like a fox? Does your tail have fish hook to it? Pointed nose, nice S-shaped neck, ginger or sandy color. Those physical features should make sense in terms of survival of the fittest in southeastern swamp forest habitat where they forage.
But Brisbane's interest in the dog went beyond looks. He began to notice they behaved differently.
They dig these little snout pits. They're little tiny conical shaped pits dug mostly by the females in the fall. Don't have a clue why, but we know that no other dog, fox, wolf, jackal has been shown to do that by the females in the fall.
The dogs may be after bug larvae or minerals in the soil itself.
But to really understand and appreciate the dog, they have to be savored in a social situation, which means a pack.
They hunt the South's backcountry with the prowess of wolves. Once prey is located, dogs signal each other by flipping up their tails and waving them like flags. In the pack hierarchy, the leader gets first helpings. Dr. Brisbane's experience told him that these dogs were more than just strays. He renamed them Carolina dogs and convinced 2 national kennel clubs to recognize them as a breed. Then, one day, he was struck by a bigger idea.
It's one of those gee whiz moments in science in your life when you don't know why or how, but you look at something and suddenly you see it different. And I said, good gosh, you look like a dingo. You came across the Bering Land Bridge, dingoes were on that side, you're on this side, wait a minute. You know, it's just one of those, holy mackerel, you know, what if you are a remnant of what came over it?
He hasn't proven it yet, but Brisbane thinks the Carolina dog may be related to Australia's wild dog and other primitive canines around the world. About 14,000 years ago, somewhere in the Middle East or Asia, it's thought the first dogs emerged. Wherever they were born, it wasn't long before they began to follow their human companions. Together, humans and dogs island hopped through the South Pacific. Other groups migrated north and crossed the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas. During these journeys, some humans and dogs dropped off and settled along the route. In some places, the evolutionary offspring of these ancient dogs may still be alive today. Carolina dogs may not be the only ones with a prehistoric pedigree. Primitive dogs on the other side of the world might hold deeper secrets on the earliest canines. From South Carolina to North Africa, there's a type of dog that lives on the fringe of man. Many experts believe this is the prototype of the modern domestic dog.
These dogs are not selected for anything, so they're not domesticated. Neither are they wild animals because they're living off people, so they are in this proto-domestication state.
These scavengers may tell us something about the very first interactions between humans and dogs. These dogs share similar features, and they also share a name, pariah. It means outcast, and in India, pariah dogs are everywhere.
Yeah, here's a beauty. She's a real beauty. Long on the leg, ears are not too big, but well pricked forward.
Agile.
Bulu Imam and his friend Gautam Das have a keen interest in these dogs. While many dismiss them as mongrels, these two believe India's pariah dogs are a direct link to the region's Aboriginal past. Bulu is an expert on India's indigenous people and their dogs.
This is a real hunting dog. You can see the spring in him. I wish he belonged to me.
Bulu and other experts believe it was the creation of a new ecological niche some 14,000 years ago that spawned the dog. That niche was human settlement, and in parts of India, it's changed little over millennia. Today, Bulu is taking us to a place where he thinks one of the very earliest relationships between man and dog still exists. In parts of eastern India, tribal groups dominate the remote countryside. Bulu and Gautam head to the village of Jarwadi, home to the Santal people and their hunting hounds. Bulu knows the Santals well. He hunted here as a boy. So this is a homecoming.
These are the people that practice the annual hunt culture. This is Dela, my old elephant tracker. He and I have hunted many elephants together. These would be the early societies that were responsible for first breeding these dogs. Hello, Baba, he's a beauty. Oh, look at him. He's very tall. These dogs have, in the memory of the tribe, always been with the tribe. There's every reason to believe that these dogs have been as long as these people have been. And They can certainly claim residence for 26 centuries. So it's not surprising that the dog should be here for 26 centuries. That's a pretty long time, actually.
Today, the Santels still hunt with their dogs. Their resemblance to Carolina dogs, thousands of miles across the globe, is unmistakable. Though slightly smaller, the Santel dogs are every bit as predatory. Encounters with wild boar, even the occasional tiger, take their toll.
Whenever you find this dog with the tribal people in our area, the dog to them is not just a matter of convenience, but it is actually a part of the social culture of the tribe.
They may be the same kind of dogs that helped the region's earliest people find food and survive.
And this would be the first dog. I mean, if I know any first dog, this is the first dog. It's the original dog.
Monsoon rains have put off today's hunt. In a small village in India, it seems some remnant of the ancestral dog is alive and well.
It may be that in some small villages that have had many thousands of years of continuous occupation, that the animals walking around the street are descendants of native dogs. I think one answer to that is to look at the people living there. How distinct are they? Perhaps if genetic isolation of humans has been fairly complete in these small villages, then so have their dogs. And one has to think about dogs and humans going hand in hand in that sense.
Dogs may have been the first animal we domesticated, but what exactly was their wild ancestor? About 35 different types of jackals, foxes, coyotes, wolves, and others make up the family Canidae. It's commonly believed that sometime near the end of the last ice age, early humans tamed the wolf and created the dog.
The whole idea has always been the wolf, and the problem is there is no the wolf. The wolf is geographically one of the most widespread species of mammal in the world. So which wolf are we talking about?
It wasn't the big bad wolf of fairy tales. Experts think it was the smaller, more solitary wolves found in Asia and the Middle East that first associated with people. Evidence for this comes from fossils. In Israel, archaeologists discovered a 12,000-year-old skeleton of what was thought to be a wolf pup. But it was the bones of another animal that made this discovery remarkable. In the grave, a human skeleton clutched the puppy. Was this a sign of affection and therefore evidence not of a wolf, but of a domestic dog? If the Middle East was the birthplace of the dog, then perhaps, in isolated parts, a vestige of the original dog still exists. In Israel, on the road between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, Myrna Shibboleth's kennels are full of ancient dogs.
We call it in Hebrew the Knaani, or I would call it a Canaan dog, but in the States they call it Canaan because it's an original breed that dates back to biblical times and is found only in what was called in the Bible the land of Canaan.
Myrna breeds champion Canaan dogs, one of a handful of primitive breeds recognized by the American Kennel Club. But as the wild stock they come from disappears, the breed's future may depend on dogs like Timmy.
Timmy is an adult bitch, and she's in season now, and we're going to take her down to the desert to try and find a good dog to breed her to bring in some new blood.
Because Canaan dogs are an ancient breed, Myrna can do something that other show dog breeders cannot. To preserve their lineage, she can take females like Timmy into the desert and breed them to wild males. But this won't be easy. Canaan dogs are the traditional companions of nomadic Bedouins. Myrna and her friend Eagle Pardo venture into the heart of Judea. Out here, Bedouin shepherds use Canaan dogs to guard sheep.
Basically, what the Bedouins expect of the dogs is to be active against predators. They have wolves here, and the wolves will come at night, they will attack the herds, and the dogs are expected to chase the wolves away. That's a very nice one. That's a good one. And his behavior is very typical. He's notifying that strangers are here. He's watching everything that's going on, staying out of the range of harm, waiting to see what's going to happen.
Like camels, these dogs are adapted to the desert.
The Canaan's body temperature is controlled, and they can get along without water for a long period. The ground is very hard and rocky, and they have to have very tough feet. And they survive on very minimal food as well. Most domesticated dogs just wouldn't survive.
Myrna's experience tells her to move on.
You can take another breed of dog to the edge of a cliff and you tell him jump, and he'll say, yes, master, anything for you. You take a Kanani to the edge of a cliff and you say jump, and he'll look at you and he'll say, you first.
She thinks she'll find the right male Canaan dog and the truest bloodlines farther into the desert.
It's becoming more and more difficult for the Bedouins to find places where they can live in a traditional way. And as their way of life disappears, so will the dogs. The Bedouins tell us themselves, there aren't so many dogs around anymore.
But this settlement may have something to offer Myrna. On the surrounding hillsides, Canaan dogs have staked out territories. Myrna spots a nice-looking pair and a potential suitor for Timmy. But they're too wild.
They're unapproachable. We asked them here, and they said even the children can't get near them. Nobody can get near them. They just hang around and scavenge.
There is, however, a small consolation prize.
Sometimes if you come to a camp and they have some extra dogs around that they don't need, then they're willing to let you have one. And that's only after you have built up the proper relationship with them and they're willing to accept you as someone that they can give a present to of a dog.
Long ago, exchanges like this helped spread dogs across the region.
It's just a puppy.
Born in the desert, these puppies will grow up in the city as adored pets. Myrna moves on, hoping to find a male tame enough for Timmy to mate. To the east, toward Jordan, there's another camp. Myrna once knew the headman of this settlement, but he has since died. She must forge a new relationship with his son, Solomon.
It's not a matter of being able to come in and offer money, and it's an insult to them if you come in and offer to buy a dog. You have to understand their culture.
Salome thinks Myrna's request is a bit strange.
He says, the Bedouins really need the dogs. They keep them because they need them to work. But other people who don't live out in the desert and don't have herds and just live in houses, they don't need dogs.
But he allows Myrna the chance to try to breed Timmy to one of his male Canaan dogs. His favorite is called Bayud. He's not used to being handled, let alone leashed. Bayud has no idea what he's in for.
The Canaans don't like to just come up to a strange dog or a strange bitch and mate. Timmy, die. They have to go through this whole ceremony.
Foreplay has taken a while, but finally there's cause to celebrate. Timmy and Bayud have mated and are still tied together. In appreciation, Myrna and Igal present Salome and his family with some gifts. Bayud also seems happy. Although Myrna has taken over nature's role as breeder, this may be the only way to ensure the future of these ancient dogs. Primitive breeds may show us what the first dogs looked like, but can they tell us how wolves really turned into dogs?
The common myth is that one bright Mesolithic morning, some caveman named Bernie just went out and grabbed a wolf pup and brought him in and brought him up, and the rest was history.
Today, new theories lead to a new creation story.
Our emerging view is that it was probably the dogs that took the initiative, that it was dogs that were exploiting the niche that human society had created.
Nobody brought anybody in a cave. Nobody tamed anybody. Nobody touched anybody.
Back when we were still hunter-gatherers, it's believed some bold wolves took the first steps to becoming dogs.
Primitive humans come through and they manage to kill an antelope, and the wolves find the carcass. Primitive humans move on, kill a zebra. The wolves don't take long to figure, if we follow these guys, there's going to be a string of junk that we can eat.
In the company of man, these wolves became isolated from their wild brethren. Over generations, they evolved into dogs. Primitive dogs continue to fill that niche today.
It's a lot easier to scavenge a dump or whine and get a handout from a person than it is to go, hunt a moose.
Dogs may have been exploiting us since the beginning, but they've never forgotten how to go wild. More than 4,000 years ago, Asian seafarers brought their dogs to the island continent that is now Australia. But the dogs left man behind and radiated across this new world on their own. In a land of marsupials, these swift, powerful hunters rose to the top of the food chain. The dingo is a living legend in Australia. Isolated here for thousands of years, it may be the foundation stock of our modern dogs, and the best living link to the ancestral dog. The problem is, few pure dingoes are left in Australia. For 300 years, dingoes have been interbreeding with domestic dogs brought by white settlers. Today, the dingo is in danger of being hybridized out of existence. Biologist David Jenkins is fighting to protect the dingo and the precious information it may hold about the first dog.
You go out into the bush and you hear that amazing howl coming up from the depths of the forest, and it brings the hair up on the back of your neck. But that we're losing what is to Australia a pretty important icon.
If he can analyze their DNA, Jenkins can learn whether or not dingoes in Southeast Australia have crossbred with domestic dogs. If they have, serious conservation measures may be needed. David must get dingo DNA, and this means catching them. He's working with the State Forest of New South Wales and his own hired guns. Bill Morris is one of the country's best trappers. He uses his own dogs to sniff out dingo scent marks and indicate the best places to set traps.
Yeah, wild dogs mark that spot there.
David doesn't always need dogs to tell him where dingoes have been.
Well, we've got some dingo feces here on a rock, and it's absolutely packed with the echidna quills and a lot of black fur, which could be echidna fur, but it could also be wallaby or something like that. And it's an absolutely exquisite little fecal mass. Beautiful.
17 traps are set along the edge of dingo territories.
So we've got a trap set just here, right? So the idea is the dingo comes in, steps over this stick here to urinate onto this little bush, and puts his foot into the trap, which is this metal plate in the centre. So what I might do is I might spring this trap, okay? Okay, so now we've got to get it off. Did somebody grab the other spring? Okay.
While it was once man's companion, the dingo has survived for eons as a wild animal.
They are not like dogs. They are just so different to dogs. They have a whole different personality. All their faculties are really tuned to hunting. They're alert and their hearing is fantastic. Their smell is good. They move like greased lightning. And that howl when you're out in the bush. Phew.
But now that it's back in man's reach, the dingo's days may be numbered. To protect them, biologists like David must find where pure dingoes still live. He hopes this forest may shelter the real thing. This morning, there is a wild dog in David's trap. It looks like an alpine dingo, typical of this area.
Now just mind out for the teeth, everybody. Okay. But once the dog has been trapped, we need to get them immobilized. And the interesting thing about the dingoes is when they feel totally dominated, they just go very still. They don't struggle and fight. This is a male. He's in good condition. I don't know, 3 or 4 year old. But these are crossbred, there's no doubt about that, because he's got these coloured patches.
Already, David estimates that 80% of Southeast Australia's dingoes are crossbred.
A good analogy is if you have a bucket of clean water, you put a drop of ink in it. When it first hits, it's really dark, but you leave it for a while and it'll just go through the whole bucket, and eventually you have a bucket of blue water, and that's exactly what's happening. Let's have a bit of that.
Though the dingo's legendary bloodline is being diluted, out here, it may not matter.
From an ecological point of view, this dog will do just the same job as a pure dingo. Top order predator, eats the same food.
A tiny piece of the dog's ear will provide the DNA David needs to find out how hybridized these canines are. This study may ultimately prompt efforts to save Australia's dingoes and their unique gene pool.
Here goes.
In the future, DNA from dingoes and from other primitive dogs may shed new light on the origin of the dog. In the meantime, DNA has helped confirm the existence of another type of dingo living in the South Pacific. This dingo may be more than a cousin to Australia's wild dog. It may be the forebearer. In Oregon, in the northwest U.S., there's a population of what some believe is the most primitive dog of all. But Oregon is not their real home.
When I first heard the singing dogs howl, they were similar but definitely quite different from most wild canids.
Brian Mitchell, a graduate student from Berkeley, has come here to analyze the call of the New Guinea singing dog.
I think the singing dogs may be a little more similar to wolves than they would be to coyotes. It's very musical. I think they're pretty well named as singing dogs.
These dogs belong to Janice Kohler-Matznick, a scientist who's dedicated herself to studying them.
It truly is like a leader, and his doo-wop chorus in the background.
Yeah, it does sound like that, sure.
My opinion is that the singing dogs are like a direct line relic of the original animal that went on to become the domestic dog in other areas of the world. In New Guinea and in Australia, this same type of early dog was isolated in an environment where there were no other dogs and no wolves. Dog girl. The analogy that I've used many times, and I really think it's appropriate, is they're like a cross between a monkey and a cat in a dog suit.
Working with Dr. Brisbane, Janice estimates that worldwide, only 100 singing dogs exist in captivity. Most of them descend from only a few wild pairs.
You're fighting a losing battle with a limited captive population, but we're trying to do the best we can until we can get some new stock out of the wild.
But no one is sure how many, if any, still exist in the wild.
My first effort is to keep the captive population from going extinct. But to me, unless I know that there's wild singers running in the mountains of New Guinea, there's no point in keeping a captive population.
In 1957, Australian zoologists brought a strange barkless dog out of the New Guinea highlands and introduced it to the rest of the world. The dog, believed to be isolated for more than 5,000 years, was declared a new species. But that status has been questioned, and singing dogs were largely forgotten. Until now. Papua New Guinea is a rugged, living Eden. Some believe the island is still home to the descendants of the first dogs that migrated through the South Pacific with ancient man. But searching this vast interior for wild singing dogs is a daunting task that few foreigners have tried. Mike Nime Wollongwe and his friend Trevor Brookings are young forestry scientists. They've taken leave from their jobs to look for what's become the country's most elusive animal.
This is the first village. Everywhere I go, I ask about these dogs, but they all say the same things, that the dogs are there and they are wild dogs. They're different from the village dogs.
Mike and Trevor had come to a remote outpost called Wow to investigate a claim of wild-caught singing dogs. Out here, some people revere the dogs as spirits of the forest. Others value them as hunting companions. But in the past few decades, pure singing dogs have virtually disappeared. What's left is a hybrid soup of pariah dogs and rumors.
I went with my father and my uncles right into the deeper part of the forest where we normally go and hunt. And then I heard a dog, and it called, "Ooh!" Just only once. And then I heard it, and my uncle said, there's the wild dog calling from the other side.
On a hill above town, Mike and Trevor check on the new lead. This farmer says he got his dogs as wild puppies from the forest. But since neither Mike nor Trevor has ever seen a singing dog, they've come armed with pictures.
The height is just very similar to this one. The length, it's good.
Though these dogs are nice looking, Mike thinks they're crossbred with domestics. A cheek swab will give them DNA and possibly traces of singing dog genes. DNA evidence may verify that pure singing dogs still exist. But Mike needs to find one first. Since these dogs look crossbred, Mike asks the man if he's seen other wild dogs lately. Like a lot of the evidence Mike gathers, it's anecdotal and compelling.
They mention of a big mountain that people don't go there. These are the place where the dogs, they live there. We still have something in the bush, and we are very determined to go further.
The farmer confirms what Mike and Trevor suspect. If real singing dogs are to be found, it will be in the remote mountains to the west. Today, most canid experts believe singing dogs are extinct in the wild. But Mike wants to prove the dog is still a reality in New Guinea. At the end of a battered road lies the village of Assais. This is home to members of a tribe known as the Onga.
Okay, Abina now. I'm now. You alright? Yes. Good luck.
The villagers are welcoming, but Mike and Trevor must get their blessings to look for the dogs here. Poachers and gold prospectors have made clan elders wary of outsiders. But Mike's quest interests them.
Now you plus round the bush you plus are also sing out this like cry blole.
Many of the men remember seeing wild singing dogs.
This is a dog and before.
Tita, the clan's veteran tracker, may be able to help.
He is saying that he hears the sound of the dogs or singing or barking.
Clan leaders agree to let Mike and Trevor search, but warn them that singing dogs dwell in the highest parts of the cloud forest. Tita will lead them on what promises to be a grueling trip into the mountains.
Right now we're just getting ready to move up and having a rewarding time up in the mountains. Yeah.
Let's go.
It takes local hunters a long, hard day to climb into the mountains to where the singing dogs are supposed to live. Who knows how long it will take Mike and Trevor? Few outsiders have ever tried it.
The slope is about 25 to 30 degrees, very, very steep.
Even barefoot, the local guys make the steep, jagged trail look like a walk in the park. It's believed singing dogs have been adapting to these alpine forests for more than 5,000 years. Stockier than dingoes, they survive up here as sure-footed hunters. It's even been reported they have the ability to climb trees. To communicate with each other across wide valleys and through dense forests, singing dogs developed their signature howl. Some 5 hours into the trip, there's a tantalizing clue. At a waterhole, there are dog tracks.
This may be the only waterhole remaining apart from maybe a few up the stream. We could see the tracks here. There's a deep one here, this one here, there's another one here, and there's a lot of them here.
Up here, miles away from any village, this might be a sign of singers. But Tita wants to get closer to the ridges where he's heard the dogs howling.
Good.
As dusk hits, camp is made in the forest just below the summit. Here, they hope to be in earshot of wild dogs. Using a tape recording of captive singing dogs, Mike tries to elicit a response call.
Sing out too or no God? So.
The answer is faint, far up the ridge, but these guys recognize it as the sound of wild dogs. In a few hours, they'll set out in the direction of the calls. Tita thinks it's the hour before dawn that singing dogs are most active. On the ridge across from where they heard dogs last night, Mike tries to elicit another response. This time, their recording is met with silence.
I'm determined. I want this project to go, and I'm really determined to go further and see one myself.
Mike may be getting closer to finding the most ancient dog of all. Or he may be pursuing a ghost. If singing dogs can't be found in New Guinea, then captive singers in the United States may represent the last of the world's original dogs. At his kennels in South Carolina, Dr. Brisbane champions more than Carolina dogs. He keeps one of the world's most important populations of singing dogs.
These dogs are unique, whether they're dog dogs or whether they're wolf dogs or primitive dingoes, they are different.
This is what the veterinarian gave me, this canine prescription diet for old dogs with kidney trouble. This far cry from the stuff she would be eating in the mountains of New Guinea.
Now what set that off? Who knows?
Brisbane and other singing dog owners are keeping vigil until new breeding stock can be found in the wild. But time is running out.
Hey girl, come here. This dog's name is Scratchley, and she's the mother of everything out here. This dog was born in the Sedgwick County Zoo in Wichita, Kansas, and for much of her life, she has been one of, if not the most important singing dogs in North America. So when Scratchley goes, which won't be a whole lot of time from now, I don't think, although you could have surprised me, couldn't you? There is an awful lot of very important information that if it wasn't for Scratchley, we wouldn't know.
While some primitive dogs are disappearing, others are excelling at an old dog trick, befriending humans. At her farm in South Carolina, Jane Gunnell has turned Brisbane's Carolina dog into a cottage industry.
This is how you teach them their names. That's Missy, that's Betsy, sister, Matilda. You want one?
To ensure the dog's survival, she's breeding it.
None such. We don't want to turn it into the yuppie puppy, but they make perfect pets, and they don't bite much, do you?
Ready.
Go.
With the help of trainers Rick and Jackie Lancaster, Jane is getting Carolina dogs ready for the show ring.
Good girl! Good girl!
Judge, winner's bitch.
In suburban Georgia, there's a different kind of dog show. It's not the American Kennel Club. It's the American Rare Breed Association's Peachtree Classic.
It's a black Russian Terrier puppy, and he's already earned one championship here in Arba. I don't know if that's from his abilities or the fact that there's just not that many of them.
It's a Louisiana Catahoula Leopard Hound. She's a good buddy. This is a Peruvian Inca Orchid. His name is Tarzan.
It's a true Carolina dog that came out of the woods of northeast Mississippi 2 years ago.
New Guinea singing dog, 141. Swedish Valholm, 7722.
It's a chance for primitive breeds not long out of the wild to make those final steps into domestication.
This is my first show, and I'm just a little farm dog. Our purpose is to go to the shows and have the judges be so excited over the dogs because it's a new breed.
A lot of people here today.
Despite the Carolina dog's growing popularity, Brisbane doesn't think its future lies in the show ring.
The breed description says Carolina dog is the world's best breed for a walk in the woods. And if I had to take a walk in the woods, that's the dog I want by my side.
Brisbane hopes the dog will remain true to its roots.
And we've shown a number of Carolinas that have no known parents. They just came out of the woods. And that's the way they ought to be, which is supremely and superbly selected by Darwin's survival of the fittest.
Will we ever really know if Carolina dogs and primitive dogs like them are the direct descendants of the first dog? Preliminary analysis of their DNA suggests an ancient heritage, but more study is needed. Science is helping us see through the creation myths that surround dogs.
As humans, we think we create, we develop, invent things. But in this case, dogs may have been their own invention.
As with our own origins, we may never have a complete picture of dogs' beginnings. Yet there may be more to learn from these dogs that we call pariahs.
I think this is where we're really getting back to the first dog. We're getting back to that indigenous wonder.
In remote corners of the world, many of them are still out there, surviving as they have for millennia, representing an irreplaceable piece of human history.